Every week, I get calls or emails from folks hoping to win disability benefits based on migraine headaches, the symptoms and the side effects of medications. What are winning strategies for migraine headache cases? I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney, and I'd like to share with you today some of the things I look for when evaluating a migraine headache case and preparing these cases for hearings. First of all, you have to realize and remember how Social Security defines disability. Disability has to do with your capacity to work. So the question I'm going to ask is, do your migraine headache symptoms or medication side effects leave you unable to perform the duties of a simple entry-level job? And it's not just this has been going on for a week or a couple of months. This has got to go on for a year or years. So in other words, Social Security is looking for folks who have migraine headaches that are not responding to medications, that have created symptoms that are so distracting that such a person could not work, and this has gone on for at least 12 consecutive months. It's got to be that long. So that's first of all that I think you have to realize what we look for is something that's long-term. Second, I would tell you that if you've had migraine headaches for a year or longer, before worrying about disability, have yourself checked out by a neurologist for a couple of reasons. First of all, you want to make sure to rule out any sort of organic cause for the migraine headaches, like a brain tumor or some sort of neurological conditions, maybe a thyroid issue, something like that. And secondly, for disability purposes, you're going to need a specialist anyway. So I think you want to rule out the organic cause, and if there is an organic cause, then that would be a completely different strategy for disability benefits, in that we might be looking at a listing level case. But most cases, if they're not listing level, meaning the migraine headache is not caused by something specific, then we're going to be focusing on functional capacity. How does my migraine headache, how do the medication side effects leave me unable to reliably perform a simple entry-level job? Now realize that when we look at migraine headaches in a Social Security disability context, we have somewhat of an uphill battle. Migraine headaches cannot be visualized. You can't take an MRI or a CT, or easily do it, that documents the severity of a specific migraine headache. And judges are uncomfortable with this because a migraine headache is subjective, meaning you experience it. There's no way for the judge to feel exactly what you feel or to know what you know. So he's going to have to rely on your testimony and what you've told your doctor. But again, a judge in disability is a lot more comfortable with something where they can do an MRI or a CT and see a broken bone, or they can see a herniated disc, or they can see a blood clot, maybe with an ultrasound, something like that. But with migraine headaches, you can't do any of that stuff. So you do have a bit of an uphill battle. I think that the best way to get past that is to document your case by showing a long history of treatment with a doctor, and ideally with a specialist. It's a family doctor. In this day and age, this point in time, I don't think going to a Social Security hearing with migraine diagnosis from a family doctor is really going to do you a whole lot of good. Now, I do think it can help to point out a cause, because again, judges like to see something where there is a beginning point. So for example, if you had a closed head injury or concussion, something like that, or you had some sort of a exposure to chemicals or some particular event that you can trace the beginnings of your migraines to a particular event, that's a good thing, because again, it gives the judge something to kind of identify as maybe a cause for your migraine headaches. Not every case is going to be like that, but it does help to do that. Now, I will tell you as well that there can be other causes that may not be quite as obvious. Food allergies, and sometimes even people that are adults can develop food allergies. That can cause migraine headaches. Hormonal changes can cause migraine headaches. A great deal of stress, maybe going through a divorce or going through the death of someone in the family, that can give rise to migraine headaches. I've seen cases where exposure to certain sounds or smells can give rise to migraine headaches. So the one thing to talk to your doctor about is what are some of the causes, possible causes of migraine headaches, and rule all those out. Try everything you can, even before medication, to see if you can make the migraine stop, because again, it could be something very simple, and of course, if it is, your quality of life can be restored fairly quickly without the medications. Now, I think judges will also expect that you have tried a number of different medications, and some of the medications that I see a good bit: Imitrex, Zomig, Cafragot. These are medications that are used to treat migraine headaches, typically once they begin. There are also other medications that are used as prophylactics, antidepressants such as amitriptyline, beta blockers, even Botox now is used to prevent migraines. So I think anything you can do in terms of medications to either stop the migraines once they've started, to reduce the severity of them, or as a prophylactic to stop them from happening, you want to be completely compliant with those medications so that the judge sees you are trying to get better, and that this is, even though this is a subjective type of thing, you're doing everything possible. If you go through Botox, for example, when you're getting injections of botulism to stop migraines, that's going to send a signal to the judge, this is pretty serious, this claimant really is trying to get better. Now, in terms of your testimony, you want to make sure it's believable. I think that it's something I've discussed in other videos. Stay away from absolutes. It always is this. It's constantly that. Judges know that even if you have migraines, you're still going to be able to do a little bit of housework, maybe take the kids to school, things like that. What becomes a problem in a work setting is the unpredictability of it. So make sure that you practice with your lawyer to discuss the symptoms you've got, but do it in a realistic manner. Instead of saying, I can't do anything 24/7, talk about that maybe for 3 days a week, 4 days a week, for 2 hours a day, you experience migraine headaches that create some real problems. And I think that goes a long way to establishing your credibility. I think as far as the evidence you need, ongoing treatment from a doctor, ideally a specialist, a neurologist would be a good choice. Sometimes a long-term pain specialist can be a good choice. And that those notes need to reflect you've tried medications, you've been compliant with medications, you've tried everything the doctor suggested, but it still is not working right. A lot of times we'll bring in testimony from a former coworker or supervisor. It can be in the form of a written statement, an affidavit, where they talk about the problems you had when a migraine would hit, and that you had to miss time, excessive time, you got terminated because of it. So non-medical sources is what I'm getting at, could be a good source of evidence. And I think that it's really helpful to have a functional capacity evaluation specific to your migraines from a treating doctor, ideally from a treating specialist, where the doctor specifically talks about reliability issues, missed time from work, likelihood of missing days from work, difficulty focusing and maintaining attention and concentration. And realize that a migraine is a specific type of headache. First of all, there are multiple types of migraines, but it's not the same as a regular headache. A lot of times migraines involve auras, where you see colors or smell things when they're coming on. It's a very severe type of headache. So make sure that the terms you're using are correct. And that's why, again, a family doctor is probably not the best place to go, because they may throw around the term migraine when it's got a very specific meaning in medicine. That's what a judge is going to be looking for if you're alleging disability based on migraine. So those are some of the things I use when evaluating a migraine case or presenting one to a judge. Again, they can be very viable cases, but I will tell you, again, it's an uphill battle because they can't be seen or easily documented unless you've got a long history of going to the doctor and multiple types of treatment. Nothing is really working. But if you have all that stuff, you've got good support from your doctor, these can be winning cases. And I hope that if you've got this situation and it is severe for you, that you do pursue disability benefits and that you do win. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on Facebook or on YouTube, and let me know if I can answer any more questions for you. So this is Jonathan Ginsberg, wishing you well. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the survival kit essential reading. Download your survival kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.